USFA Zip .22. The USFA Zip .22 long rifle, commonly known as the USFA Zip gun, is a .22 LR semi-automatic bullpup pistol. The pistol is made by the U.S. Firearms Manufacturing Company under the brand Zip Factory. It is the only known firearm that has been produced by Zip Factory. USFA was originally a maker of high-quality Colt single-action Army replica. The owner of the company, Douglas Donnelly, designed the Zip .22 and shifted the company's focus to producing the weapon, selling all of their tooling to generate capital. However, the end weapon was plagued with a host of problems, including high unreliability, poor ergonomics, and unsafe operation. It was a commercial failure and led to the dissolution of its manufacturing company. The gun has no distinct grip, and users must use their index and middle finger to grip the trigger and a small loop underneath the trigger, and their palm resting on the back and their thumb wrapped around the weapon. The Zip .22 is noted to be very unreliable and malfunctions extremely frequently. The most major flaw of the weapon contributing to its poor reliability was its poorly designed bolt. The extremely small and light polymer bolt cycles very quickly, which causes aftermarket magazines to fail to feed or double feed, only exacerbated by the weapon's lack of a feed ramp. The bolt can also often slam shut on a casing that has only partially exited the weapon, causing a stovepipe jam. The high bolt velocity also causes occasional case ruptures due to the bolt attempting to extract a case while pressure is still high enough to rupture it without the support of the chamber, causing serious jams. The lack of an extractor and an ejector means that the weapon has significant trouble with extracting and ejecting a spent case, further contributing to firearm failure. It also means the ejection angle can vary wildly, with the weapon sometimes shoving a hot case directly into the shooter's trigger finger. In addition to its unreliability, the use of the two charging rods placed so close to the muzzle was very unsafe, particularly when using the restrike rod with a chambered round, which has been known to cause the gun to fire without the trigger being touched. Many users also found the restrike rod was still quite capable of ejecting a chambered round either partially or entirely, with the former simply jamming the gun. It was also notably difficult and counterintuitive to disassemble. Its ergonomics are usually considered to be awkward, particularly for shooters with large hands. Cobray Pocket Pal. The Cobray Pocket Pal is an interesting little self-defense gun. It is a break-open revolver with interchangeable cylinders. It is chambered in .380 and .22 LR. The top barrel is chambered in .380 ACT while the bottom barrel is chambered for .22 LR. The .22 LR cylinder holds 5 rounds while the .380 cylinder only holds 3 rounds. The cylinders are indexed so when you shot the last round, the cylinder locks the trigger and you cannot fire the gun, so you have to remove the cylinder and reload it. A 4-shot .357 break-open Derringer designed as a backup gun for law enforcement officers. COP stands for Compact Off-Duty Police. It chambers 4 rounds of .357 or .38. The only downside is an atrocious trigger pull and it weighs 28 ounces empty. This one is nice. 2-shot .357, double action only. Very good ergonomics and a pleasant trigger pull. An odd revolver, double action only, with a fully shrouded cylinder. It can fire .22 LR out of the bottom barrel or .380 out of the top barrel, depending on the cylinder installed. It's good for 3 rounds of 380 or 5 of .22 LR. Being a Cobray product, it's rather crude, but kind of neat, where machining is physically necessary. It looks just good enough to probably function. The exception here is the cylinders, one for .22 and one for .380, which appear to be quality stainless steel with quality machine work. Browning Buckmark Rifle. Ordinarily, repeaters or semi-automatic rifles are not as accurate as bolt-action designs, but, as with most things, it largely depends on the rifle and manufacturer. Browning has a good reputation for its series of target and hunting pistols from the US, and it was an inspired piece of lateral thinking to lengthen the barrel to 18 and add a rifle-style stock, thus incarnating a super light, accurate carbine. At first glance, it is true it looks odd. Some may say ugly, but those prejudices disappear as soon as you shoot it. In fact, I was quite taken with this little rifle over the period of the testing and found it handy to shoot vermin. As with most .22 LR rimfire pistol designs, the Buckmark relies on the cycling of the action by a simple yet effective blowback method where the recoil from firing operates the action and cycles a new round. Because, essentially, this is a lengthened pistol, you grip the Buckmark by a true pistol grip through which the magazine is inserted. This gives a comfortable and natural hold. It's slim, but the oiled walnut grip to either side feels right, and all the operating controls are located on the left side. These include the safety lever that, when pushed up, is safe, and when down, you can fire, and it also locks open the slide in its rearmost position. In front of this safety lever is a slide release catch, and the magazine release button is positioned where your thumb rests on the grip. All easy to access and reliable. There is no standard bolt as such, but a sliding top receiver that blows back on firing just enough to eject an empty case and cycle a new round. In pistol form, this reciprocating slide is well away from the face, but in this carbine style, it's quite near to one's nose. In reality, it's 100% safe. It is heavily scalloped to both sides and grooved to allow a good grip, because this area is very open. No enclosed receiver like most rifles. It's easy to keep clean as semi-automatics tend to get a bit dirty with lead and unburned powder. MBA Gyrojet. The Gyrojets are a family of unique firearms developed in the 1960s named for the method of gyroscopically stabilizing its projectiles, firing small rockets rather than inert bullets. They had little recoil and didn't require a heavy barrel to resist the pressure of the combustion gas. The result was a very lightweight weapon with excellent ballistics, long out of production. Today they are a coveted collector's item with prices for even the most common model ranging above $1,000. They are, however, rarely fired. Ammunition, when available at all, can cost over $100 per round. Robert Mainhart and Art Beal joined forces to form MB Associates, or MBA, in order to develop Beal's armor-piercing rocket rounds. Originally developed in a 13mm caliber, the cartridges were self-contained self-propelled rocket. A family of Gyrojet weapons was designed, including a pistol, carbine, rifle, and squad-level light machine gun. However, only the pistol and carbine were built. The space-age-looking carbine versions were tested by the Army, where they proved to have problems. One issue was that the vent ports allowed the humid air into fuel, where it made the combustion considerably less reliable. The ports themselves could also become fouled fairly easily, although it was suggested that this could be solved by sealing the magazines or ports. Another inherent and quite critical problem was that, being a rocket, the projectiles didn't leave the barrel at maximum velocity, and muzzle velocity could in fact be as low as 30 feet per.